Legal 112, this is your podcast for both Section 6 and Section 7. In Section 6, we're going to spend a bit of time doing a State of Illinois research project. You're then going to expand on that project as the basis for your legal writing practicum that occurs in Section 7. Advice starting out. Number one, if you've been waiting till the last few days or last day to do the work in this class, you will be very much frustrated and in trouble, especially in the weeks of Section 7. There are different deadlines in Section 7, so you heard that here now in Section 6. So when you see that section open up, get the deadlines down and do the work. Because there won't be any exceptions to missed deadlines, there won't be any exceptions to missed formats, to posting incorrectly, etc. We've come too far and we're past that point. Additionally, like anything you're going to encounter in a legal services career, the effort you put in on the front end of any project will pay off on the back end of that project. In other words, if you're doing litigation work and preparing a case for trial, the more attention you give to every detail, the more attention you give to every task, the effort you put into anything you do from the beginning of the case will pay off when and if you get to trial at the end of the case. It will support you. It will make your life easier. It will help your client's case. It will help the lawyers or team that will be going to court on that case. There's a Zen proverb that I believe essentially goes, a Zen Buddhist proverb. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I think that we should all strive to do our best in anything we do on the job, in the law, in legal services. And I think that you probably understand legal ethics and professional responsibility now and the liability that comes with those expectations. If for no other reason, it allows for job security and for a better opportunity to be successful in your career. But it also goes to what is expected by the people who are paying for your services and your lawyer's services, or you as the lawyer, to do that work. It's a most basic golden rule sort of thing. The people that are going to be paying your bills, paying your salary, paying for you to be able to exist in legal services as a career are not going to want to pay for half of your effort. They want your best effort. Likewise, anything you go and purchase or pay for, any service that you may seek out, it's your basic expectation that you get the best of whatever it is you're seeking to pay for. You don't want mediocre of anything. So, caution, the effort you put in Section 6 will pay off in Section 7. And then the other major caution, when we get to Section 7, which will open up a little earlier than it typically would have, so you'll have access to it before Section 6 is over. Look at the dates, the due days, because they're different, and there's multiple due days because you're going to do an outline, you're going to do a rough draft, you're going to do a final draft, and there's going to be a date that you have to post those things as a PDF file using the document icon on the edit bar and not that pesky paper clip that's found outside the thread box. And then you're also going to have to go and read what other people have posted and be a peer. Just as in the law office, you'll be expected to be a peer and provide feedback on the type of work that's created by other people, and then be open to the type of work that is, or the type of feedback that you get on the work that you create, because in that section, it's going to build. Everything you do in section 6 will get the input of all of us, and you'll build on that in section 7. And at the end of section 7, you're going to turn in a final draft that should incorporate all of that feedback and improve along the way, so you have a really good document that will also help with the final project for this course, which helps to provide you with a portfolio that you can use with some of what you research and write in this class or other classes in the legal studies program. All right, so let's talk first about the section 6 assignment. So first I asked you to read the final 2 chapters of the textbook, chapters 14 and 15. And you've now completed the textbook reading. Once you've done this, if you haven't done that, stop listening and go and do that work. We're going to have a review of annotations and how you use annotations, because annotations may become or should become part of what you're looking to do here in this particular assignment over the next 2 sections of the course. And then I give you some information, and your assignment comes by way of a pretty realistic adaptation of what you might find in the law office. Those of you who work in law offices now or have worked in law offices will be able to verify this is true. In many law offices, and especially in litigation offices, lawyers are in and out of the office all the time. In our particular location in the state of Illinois, they may be in and out of the office and all over the central part of the state or beyond. When Dean Weghorst was my paralegal and I was a trial lawyer, I worked in areas of practice that took me in every county in the state, potentially. I had cases in the city of Chicago. I had cases as far south as you could go in Illinois and on both of the west and east borders of Illinois and all up and down. And so it wasn't unlikely that I would be gone on the road to get to court in Aquaka, Illinois, or the Daly Center and the Loop in Chicago, or other places, way before my paralegal got to the office. And then because of the day and what I had in that day and the travel alone, I probably didn't get back to the office till those people were gone. Many nights I got back to the office and it was empty. Nobody was there. Lights were off. So communication was fast and furious. We didn't always have the ability to communicate because back then, and still today, as you may know, cell service is spotty. So it wasn't, or I'm in a deposition, or I'm in a hearing, or I'm in a trial, and you're not going to be able to talk to me during those times. So the communication and the circumstance I set up are intended to give you an idea and an opportunity to work in this way. So you need to, 1, take a deep breath, 2, be patient, 3, read the entire assignment multiple times. with a pad of paper and a pen. Take notes. Map it out. I'm going to ask you to keep a flow chart and notes because you will need to produce an outline at some point over the next few weeks. And you need to have that information if I ask you to verify your organization and effort in researching and organizing the work that you provide in an organized and coherent manner to prove that it's your work. It may be that I might ask you individually to share that work with me, online, in person. So do those things. Now, the crux of what you're asked to do is general or broad in nature. And a lot of times, a lawyer will ask someone else to provide them with a good working knowledge of a particular area or thing in the law. And that's what this little sticky note, the highlighted in yellow portion of the assignment, is asking of you. But that little sticky note, to be clear, is seeking your information, your words, on what the statutes or cases say about that particular thing in as complete and coherent manner as you can provide, with correct citations and the ability for us to go back and check it and look at it and expand on it and to discuss it, which circles back to the thing that we've talked about often. The things that you're asked to communicate in writing, you'll more often than not be asked to sit across from someone and explain in your own words, eye to eye, not looking at a document, not saying as I wrote here and read off the document, owning that communication. If you put in the effort in the writing process, we all know that you know the research process. If you put in the effort in the writing process, you'll be able to do those things. Now, all this work that you're going to do in Section 6 focused on an Illinois research problem, Illinois legal research problem, an issue, a client's issue that's scribbled on a couple sticky notes stuck to your computer screen because the lawyer had to shoot off to whatever courthouse across the state, and they expect you to get this research done and be able to discuss it, write it up, and be able to discuss it when they get back or when you next see them. All that's going to then be used as the basis for your Section 7 legal writing practicum, which is an exercise in expanding on the general research that you will conduct in Section 6, applying it to more specific facts regarding a client. And in that particular section, you're going to have an outline due, you're going to have a rough draft due, and you're going to have a final draft due with reviews and replies to the work of everybody else, all by the deadlines that you'll receive when that section opens. So again, be prepared for different deadlines. No excuses on missed deadlines, on formatting, on documents that don't open. We're past that now. Okay? Now, the best part of all of this is it's going to provide you with a writing sample that you can take or offer or send, bring to an interview. It's going to add to your interview portfolio. If you've taken a look at the jobs that are available the jobs that we post on our site, everybody wants to say that they're looking for experienced people. Sometimes they like to have somebody with 3 to 5 years experience in whatever their area of practice of law is. Well, we all want the stars and the moon, but we can't necessarily get to those things. In all my years of experience working in law and justice, and all the different positions I've had, and all the different positions I've helped other people get, it's more often than not the case that the people hired have little or no experience. But the experience that students who graduate from this program do have is practical experience doing practical things that relate to what they're going to be asked to do in these positions. You will have work product based on class assignments that you can then take and offer as examples of your abilities. And the course is going to wrap up with you putting together that exact portfolio. The things you'll need to use to get a job. Now, you can go about this as an assignment, or you can go about this as preparation for your future. If you go about this as an assignment, you may get a grade that you find satisfactory, you may not. If you go about this as an opportunity to build something that can demonstrate your abilities and your opportunity to get a job, regardless of what they list as being their desire to find somebody with 3 to 5 years experience. And let me tell you right now, and especially it's been that way for several years, that just doesn't occur, especially in the law. If you take this as an opportunity to build on something, to produce something that will be usable in that interview setting, well, the grade will take care of itself. If you come at it with the effort that it deserves. And again, how you do anything is how you do everything. If I'm hiring, I want somebody who's going to demonstrate that they're going to do everything with the utmost attention and effort. And at this point in the semester, you have all of the research skills and all of the writing knowledge to do that. So, do it. So this is your podcast for sections 6 and 7. I appreciate all your effort to this point in the class. I hope you kick it up a notch for yourself. And if you need me, you know where to find me.